Now, one of the most important parts of this book, and you and I have discussed this over the years, is you dismiss the 4 Ps of marketing, and then you went on to come up with another alliteration.
The fundamental thing that I teach in terms of the thinking process is outside in as opposed to inside out.
Right.
We mostly manage our companies thinking inside out. Our view of the customer is from our shipping dock looking out.
Yes.
And it's a natural instinct. Behind us, there's some machine turning out lots of this product, which we have to get rid of. At least that's the mentality. Well, the 4 Ps are the consummate inside out. The other thing is that I believe that most of our companies are being managed according to theories that are 40, 50, 60 years old,
right.
And they may not have been true then. Even if it were so in 1960, it's a flawed concept then. Mm-hmm. It is disastrous now. It isn't about product. There may have been a time when you could sell anything you could make. That time is gone. Now you can only make what customers need and want. Now, customers don't know what they need or want. When Steve Jobs died, there was one, all these eulogies and people, there was one person I wanted to hear from, and that's Lee Clow, who was
yes.
the creative director of the agency that made Apple.
Yep.
And Lee said that Steve's true genius was customer insight, consumer insight. Mm-hmm. He knew what we were going to need before we did. Right. And that's true. So it's understanding people and figuring out, trying to get to where it is that they're going to be 5 years from now. The smarter companies have moved product development out of science and technology or engineering or wherever it used to be,
right.
And put it under marketing, which is where it belongs. But a lot of companies still have not.
Right.
It's not about price. Price is a stalking horse for something else. If you have to compete on price, basically it means you have been a total failure at marketing.
Right.
The objective of positioning, Al Ries and Jack Trout's old concept, is to persuade someone that there's no completely satisfactory substitute for your product or service. Well, you have failed at doing that if you have to compete on price.
Right.
What it really is about is what is the cost to the customer to satisfy those wants and needs that you've developed. Cost to the customer has nothing to do with our
right.
costs.
Right.
And of course, that's extremely hard for finance-driven companies to get.
Right.
They just, and it's not about place. Place was their code word, their P word for distribution.
Right.
Well, we've historically set up distribution systems according to our benefit. What kind of a deal can we make with which kind of a distributor? Where can we put our warehouses that they're near our factories or whatever? Us. It isn't about place. It's about convenience to the customer. It's making it so convenient for the customer to buy that they wouldn't do anything else. How convenient can you make it for your customer to buy from you?
Right.
That's the key question. And then, of course, it isn't about promotion, Dr. Dichter and motivational research. That's, again, a completely manipulative kind of a thinking process. It's about communication, dialogue. People want to talk back, and how can you facilitate that? And, of course, that's what the Internet makes so easy.
Absolutely.
Relative to what it used to be. So anyway, product, price, place, and promotion, we could repeat it. It's in 168 languages or some such thing. And it's it's 100% wrong, 180 degrees wrong. You got to replace it with the customer wants and needs, the cost to the customer to satisfy those, convenience to buy, and communication. I probably upset lots of universities when I speak there, and I say, whoever taught you that, you tell them they owe you some of your tuition.
Exactly. Your mom and dad should get a refund.
50-year-old theory.